Okay, so this is a walkthrough for the track Step Inside, which was from the album Crystalline. Um, it was originally actually it was going to be a solo album because it was originally put together when the band was still two of us. But then when Tom left, I decided that the album didn't really sound like the solo stuff I was putting out at the time. It was a bit too electronic-y and ironically a bit too Satan-y, so I decided to just rename it as a Worried About Satan album. Now that the band was just me anyway, it kind of made more sense to call it that anyway. So Step Inside is from Crystalline, which was I think the first thing that was released that was just my involvement. So it was released in January on the label Sound in Silence, and it was everything done by me for the first time on a Satan record since 2006, I think, from EP1. So anyway, let's dive in and see what we can find. Most of my Ableton sessions, I don't really have many channels. Here we've got 11 and one's on mute, so you've got kind of 10 really. This one was built around just a little synth line that I did on my iPad, actually, when I was just messing around on my iPad, and in GarageBand I came up with this. It just sounded nice, so I recorded it and then just stuck it in my Ableton and just played around with it. As you can hear there, the reverb's doing a lot of heavy lifting because the WAV is a bit warped. So I should have warped it a bit better, really, but it kind of sounded all right with EQ and reverb, so I just decided to leave it. The rhythm stuff here, again, quite rudimentary. I stuck a saturator on because I wanted to get that feel of like a really old drum machine being put through distortion and making it sound a bit horrible. So I deliberately didn't want to put too much kind of effort into to make it sound nice, to make the drums sound nice. So I just quickly put together a little impulse and then put some saturator and some reverb on and just kind of played around. The counter melody here, if you can hear it there without anything on, it's played on an old synth that was literally falling apart at the time. So you could just about make out the hum in the background. I couldn't get rid of it. It was really annoying. But I thought it sounded quite nice because it was really on its last legs. The guitar as well. I usually have quite a lot of trouble with guitar, like making it sound halfway decent. But here it sounds really nice. Guitar I can't really use anymore because it keeps crashing my Ableton. Because if you read the recent music tech feature where I talk about how I put stuff together, you'll know that all of my equipment is really rudimentary and it's not very there's no, as you can see from the video as well, there's nothing too high tech about any of it. It's all quite low tech, so guitar, it kept crashing everything, so I can't really use it anymore, but the guitar here sounds really nice. This again was this Lush pad. Ooh, listen to that, lovely. That was played on the same synth that was falling apart, so there you go, listen to that. Oof. But with a bit of EQ and a bit of reverb, sounds quite nice, so I left it in there. There you go. I was listening to a lot of like Chromatics and hate rock and stuff like that at the time, so and there's the kind of saturated bass bit of chorus on it. I really wanted to make it sound a bit like Rough and Ready, a bit like kind of raw. I didn't want to put too much sheen on any of this. So everything sounds a bit like gnarly and a bit like dreamy. But yeah, that's just because I was listening to loads of hate rock at the time and the Chromatics and stuff like that, so it kind of comes across in how like dingy it all sounds, but also kind of dreamy. The vocals here were by my girlfriend Sophie. She sang every note in the scale, and I had them all as WAV files on my phone, and then I plugged my phone into a delay pedal and then just pressed whichever notes fit the tone of the song. And then I just played it in and just messed around with it. This little beat thing was off a website called Freesound that I used to steal. Well, not steal because it's all free, but I used to take loads of stuff from like way back in the day. So there's loads of stuff on early Satan albums that features stuff from Freesound, and that was just like a really crap beat, and I really wanted something that sounded quite crap, so that sounded quite good. Again, Guitar Rig was brilliant here. The distortion stuff's amazing on Guitar Rig. It's a shame I can't use it anymore, because it didn't sound very good when I played it in, but as soon as you put Guitar Rig on, it sounds really nice. And then obviously EQ'd it, reverbed it, sounds crazy. Okay, yeah, so the drums here are getting a bit more, there's a few more elements being put in. There you go, they don't sound great without any reverb or anything like that, but that's the kind of feel that I wanted, like a kind of, like a real crap, like drum machine, just like kind of dying but being put through loads of delay and reverb, sounds really nice. Another synth that was played on, again, the same synth that was kind of breaking. So you could just about make out how like kind of horrible it sounds. But it had like quite a nice little tremolo effect. You can just about make it out there, that's really nice. And with some reverb on, sounds really good and fit the whole like kind of like a kind of retro-futurist feel of it, I suppose. Like how somebody in the 80s wanted the future to sound like. It's basically just I guess the whole thing's just like an exercise in just one melody and then a lot of like other textures and melodies just flying around on it. Mind you, that's how most Satan stuff sounds anyway, so no great surprise there, I suppose. But yeah, I quite like this one because it's kind of, for the album, it's quite long as well. So I think it's the longest one on the album. Most of the other stuff was just kind of 3 or 4 minutes long, and they were kind of more sketches, whereas this is more of like kind of a bit more kind of properly put together, I suppose. And then yeah, I'm just turning stuff off now and just like kind of fading stuff out. There you go, the big payoff. It sounds nice when all the synths are kind of like lined up and playing over each other. It sounds really nice, like quite ethereal, quite dreamy, but that's the kind of feel I was going for. But yeah, as you can see, there's a lot of saturators, a lot of reverbs, a lot of delays. There you go, they're all still pinging along. Sidechain as well, that was on quite a bit of the track. Obviously just kept it muted there because I didn't want another 808 just... Listen to that. God, you can hear it. You can actually hear it just like giving up completely, just not wanting to play any notes. But it sounds really nice when you put a bit of delay on it and a bit of reverb. Same with all of the synths, I guess. Like, they sound quite dreamy and... So yeah, just letting it kind of play out. I like these kind of end sections sometimes, but just to leave stuff to kind of... leave it to like kind of play out with kind of nothing else going on. It's quite nice to just let it do its own thing and then just kind of drift off a little bit. So there's only a couple of elements playing now, but it's nice just to leave it running and just, you know, give it a bit of time, do its thing. And there you go, it's just about to end. Here we go, lovely. And there you go, that was Step Inside.